everybody, unforeseen here. Welcome back to the channel. Today is another on the way home video. It's crazy because I'm trying to give you guys the most recent things possible. I had another video planned, which I want to move that video to another date because I want you guys to hear this because I'm so excited. But first off, make sure you like and subscribe. It really helps me and the family out, helps us reach more people. Also, side note, if you have not checked out the TikTok account, if you are on TikTok or whatever, the unforeseen 610 on TikTok, check it out. I post a lot of like funny stuff there, a lot of car stuff too, but it's really it's blowing up. I mean, yeah, TikTok community's loving my stuff and it's going great. I'm almost at 2 million views, so it's awesome. But anyway, let's get back to the video. So I'm driving at work. So I work as a contractor, and I am driving, blah, 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 and my phone's going off like crazy, and I'm like, what is going on? No one ever calls me while I'm at work. It's not happening. So I'm like, all right, whatever. I get done driving, get out, or pull over, whatever, and I'm like, all right, let me see. So I call back, and it is the manager at Whitmoyer Auto Group, so where my C8 Corvette is, my order is through. So I'm like, oh boy, why is the manager calling me? Did something happen? Did something go wrong? Because on my order, I told them I wanted specific things, and GM released a statement saying they're not going to be putting certain options on vehicles anymore. There's a shortage of the chips again, and like they're even like not making the high wings anymore, stuff like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, like I waited so long, right? And now I'm not going to be able to get what I want. This sucks. So, because like my mindset with this whole Corvette process is like it's always a delay. There's always a setback, which is not anyone's fault. It's not the dealer's fault. It's just how this process has been. So I was like, oh great, here we go. I'm gonna look like an idiot telling everybody I have to wait longer. And then he goes, hey man, I just want to confirm your order. And I was like, oh, it's like confirm. He's like, yes. He's like, GM's accepting the allocation today, like right now, as soon as I submit it. He's like, let's go over it. So I proceeded to tell him my order. I'm going to show you guys another video, but I go through it, and the one thing on my order that you guys already know of is the high wing. And I was like, yeah, I saw an article, because he watches some of my YouTube stuff, and we talk every now and then, and he was like, I was like, I heard that the high wing is no longer like an option anymore. Like this, like I love that wing. I love it. I'm not a big fan of the Z51 wing, and I do not like the no wing look. I think it needs something. And aftermarket, there's nothing that's really grabbed my attention yet. Yeah, I say yeah. Maybe we'll find something and we'll do it, or maybe I'll design my own. I don't know. But we'll get there, right? So I'm like, all right, well, I want the high wing. And he's like, okay, I know they can't order anymore. So he makes a call to his service department, or however you want to call it, and he saved me a wing, because I guess they ordered extra in, so they could sell it for like retail. And he was like, cool. He's like, I can get you the high wing. He said it's not going to come on like with your order. He's like, but I already have it here for you. Your name's on it. You're good. And I was like, dude, that is awesome. That's customer service right there. Like, went out of his way. He could have been like, no, sorry, not going to come with it, and we'll see if we have one in when you get here. Because if he would have been able to sell it, you know, now. But that wasn't the case. It was awesome. He set it aside for me, hooked me up. I appreciate it so much. Which, by the way, this dealership does sell at MSRP. In case you guys missed my last videos, that's why it's waiting. That's why it's taking so long. So he's on there, he's submitting it, he's like, hey man, he's like, I know you're at work, I know you're real busy, can you just hang on the phone for like 5 more minutes? And I'm like, okay, yeah, fine. So I'm on the phone for like 5 more minutes, and we're just, you know, talking, whatever. They're like random stuff at this point, because we're waiting, and I hear him clicking, typing away. I'm like, oh man, like, what now? And he goes, so would you like to know like your rough TPW, which is target production week? And I was like, yeah. And like immediately the little devil popped up on my shoulder and was like, June. And I was like, no. We're gonna be like, oh, it's gonna be a 2023 model year now. And I'm like, oh please, like let's have this not be the case. Please, please, please. I was like, don't be like another 2 or 3 month wait. Like, I mean, I can wait it, but I don't want to. Like, I'm already 2 years now, so I'm like, oh, I want this car, I want this car, I want this car. And he goes, oh, well, 2, and in my head, I'm like, 2. I'm like, that's February. I'm like, oh, that's like February starts in like 4 days from now, from when I'm making this video. So I'm like, oh boy. All right, so that's already got me. I'm like excited. He's like, it could be 4/21 or 4/27, or I'm sorry, 2/21. So February 21st, the week of. Sorry, I'm getting excited. The week of February 21st or the week of February 27th, and I'm like, what? And like, it's really hitting me now that I'm like, the production week now, granted, they probably still have to go through quality control, and it's got to get shipped from Bowling Green to Pennsylvania, and they got to do all the PDI and everything on it, but still, like, that's less than 4 weeks away. That's like technically 3 weeks from now. And I'm just like, it really hit me. I'm like, wow, I'm actually gonna get this car. And now, granted, I've been wanting it this whole time, and that's why I got on the list, blah blah. But like, it was always kind of like, yeah, I'm on the list, but it was kind of like that, something that you knew you were going to do, or you really wanted to do, but you didn't know it until like it's there, right? The best way I can describe that feeling is it's not as, it's gonna sound stupid, but it's not as important as like, the car is not as important as this experience, but like, when you find out you're having a child, right? Because obviously I'm a dad, so like, when you find out, you're like, yeah, I guess we're having a kid. Well, then like, you go through that 9 months and you're like, man, yeah, I'm having a kid. Once you get to like that last month, you're like, oh, this is happening. And then when you, it's an experience, all right? And once you go through it, you're just like, whoa. And then everything starts clicking. Like, for me, when I found out that the wife was pregnant, I was like, oh, okay, like, we're gonna have a kid. Like, that's cool. And then like, all of a sudden, like, as the days ticked down, I was like, I need to buy a house. I ended up selling my dream truck at the time. Before, if you guys are new, before I was doing YouTube and before I was in the cars, I was all about diesel trucks. So I had a brand new F-250. I mean, it was like a $70-some-thousand truck, and I was paying way too much for it. I was basically putting my entire paycheck at the job I was working at into making the payments for that truck, between the mortgage of a monthly payment and then the insurance. So like, I'm shelling out 90% of my paycheck for this thing, and I was like, oh snap, it's like, this is real. So sold the truck. That's what got the Subi started, which then that car started this channel, which is funny how the world turns, right? But anyway, that instinct where it's like, this is actually happening. Now, it's not as a big of a scale, obviously, as having a kid. Like, that was like, wake up, like, time to be a man. And I was like, oh, here we go. But with this car, it's like, yeah, like, it's time. And now I'm like, okay, well, now I kind of have a rough estimate. I gotta see if I can find parts, like aftermarket parts. Like, I gotta see if I can find all the stuff I want to do to this car. Because there's, I mean, everybody's having a backup on everything, on shipping, like all that stuff. It's like all backed up right now. So now it's hitting me. It's like, if I'm going to make great content for you guys, one, I got to get the car, which is fun, and everything should be fine there. Second is, I got to get myself in the mindset that I'm trading in my Supra, because there's no point in me having both. I can't drive them both every day. So that's a really touchy subject for me, because I love this car. This car is awesome. This car is amazing. For some reason, it does not get the attention it deserves. And in all reality, for everybody that's a C8 fan, this car is faster. Like, way faster. Like 0 to 100, C8 pulls all day long. As soon as you hit 100, this thing, gone. But it's a whole different experience, right? And the C8 is just, I got this car to do giveaways and stuff like that, and I got it to hold me off until I got the C8. Because I thought the C8 was going to be quicker, so then I was going to do a giveaway on it, and then hop right in the C8, and the winner took the cash, 50 grand cash. It's a whole lot of recap if you guys haven't been with me the whole time. But yeah, now I've had this car for a year. It's the longest I've ever owned a sports car. I normally rotate them out. I have a problem very quickly, and I'm like, wow, like I'm gonna miss this thing. Like in a year, I put on 21,000 miles. Like I got seat time in this bad boy, so I gotta get it all ready. I got to, you know, take some stuff off, like the tint. You can't sell with tint on the windows in PA, so I'm gonna take that off for them so they don't have to worry about it. It's just little things, but it's hitting me now. Like, this car is coming, and every day I guarantee it's gonna get worse. And like, well, not worse, but like the feeling is going to get bigger and bigger, and I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, here we go. And I'm probably gonna start panicking. I'm probably gonna, like, even for no reason, but just because I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long for this moment that I'm just like, let's go. Like, everything. Like, even once I submitted what I wanted to him, I was second guessing myself, like, oh, dude, is that what I really want? And I just got to tell myself, you got to go for it. You made up your decision, go with it, and deal with the cards that you're dealt. And that's how I want to roll. I'm gonna wing it, and we're gonna kill it. All right. So yes, the target production week is supposed to be either the last week of February or the second to last week of February, which is awesome. So, I mean, depending on how everything goes and shipping and quality control and all that stuff, and if there's no more hiccups, maybe I'll get it the last week of February, or I'll get it sometime in March, which I'm actually happy with, because like, it's snowing all the time now. If I can hold it off till March, I mean, I might have a couple snowstorms, but I won't be like driving it in the snow and the salt like constantly. Now, it's not really gonna matter because I'm gonna have it wrapped, but you know. And it's gonna be a little bit warmer out. It's gonna be a little stickier. It's gonna have the tires can warm up better. So once I hit that brake in, we can do some launch control and some racing. Woo! I'm excited. I hope you are too. But with all that being said, if you did like today's video, make sure you smash that like button, doubly subscribe, tell anyone and everyone you know to hop on the Dad Bod Season train, join the Dad Bod Season family, and I will see you all next time. Dad Bod Season out.